Thumbs up, can you hear me all right? Awesome, thank you. For those that don't know, my name is Lance Conrad. I'm the very, very proud head of school here at CHCH. On behalf of our dedicated board of trustees, most of whom are with us today, welcome to this really cool, amazing, wonderful event. It has been a labor of love. We are pleased to see so many contributors to this project, supporters for this project. It has been transformational, and we are so glad to share with you the remarkable Landry Center. We're also elated to look around and see alumni, parents, past parents, grandparents, trustee emeriti, advisors to the board, community members, and a host of other friends of CHCH that are with us today, as well as students, faculty, staff, and trustees. On behalf of my administrative team, most of whom are here, and board leadership, we'd like to thank you for coming out, and we look forward to catching up. I'd like to begin with a story. It's a story that's actually wrapped in a shroud of mystery. From my breast pocket, I pull this tiny envelope postmarked May 30th, 1973, exactly 52 years ago yesterday. No one here has ever seen or heard of this correspondence, not even Gwen. Now I know what you must be asking yourselves, well, Lance, where did this half-century-old letter come from? Well, my friends, I happened to discover this mysterious letter with its 8-cent postage stamp on it in my own mailbox a mere fortnight ago. Yet the address is not mine. It is addressed to one Mrs. Theodore R. Strollo, 79 Buckman Drive, Lexington, Mass. 02173. Now, I don't think that zip code even exists anymore. This is on the other side of town from where I live. So humor me as I remove from the envelope this lovely seafoam green half sheet of old school stationery identifying the sender's address on the masthead of this piece of paper. Green Acres Day School, Nursery School and Day Camp, 439 Lexington Street, Waltham, Mass. 02154. Again, not the current zip code that we are in. 893-5051. No area code even. That's how old this is. Well, the plot thickens now, doesn't it? 439 Lexington Street. We're getting warmer, aren't we? The notice appears to have been crafted using, yes, an IBM Selectric. An IBM Selectric, yes, Carol Russo is laughing because I think she had one of these when I started working here 19 years ago in our office. Yes, an IBM Selectric, the most popular typewriter in Boston at that time, 52 years ago. You can even still smell the gold standard IBM Selectric ink on this letter. You're probably curious what this letter says, aren't you? Yes. Finley, aren't you? Yes. Yes. May 30th, 1973. Dear Mrs. Strollo, this is to inform you that your application for Danny, that's handwritten, to attend Green Acres Day School in the 3 p.m. session, which is handwritten, has been accepted for September of 1973. A deposit of $25, deductible from the first month's tuition, is now due in order to hold the place for your child. If your plan should change, you must request the return of this deposit up to July 1st. That's the same date we actually still use here today for the returning of deposits. In any event, we would appreciate hearing from you if you decide not to send your child to our school so that we can offer the place to another family. Children's Visiting Day will be held on Friday, June 1st, 1973. The first step in a carefully planned program of orientation. Sincerely yours, Mrs. Miriam Horwitz, Registrar. In order to solve the first part of the mystery, my friends, I now call upon the unsuspecting detective by the name of Alden C. Harrington, Esquire. Alden, please join me at the podium. As he does this, our confused detective, it should be noted, our confused detective grew up in the 199-year-old farmhouse, which is located directly behind this building, central to the story's mission. Counselor, would you please explain the meaning behind this letter in your best interpretation? It's not here. It's up here. It's up here, Alden. In your best interpretation.
So putting various pieces together, if this sounds like somebody applying to the summer camp. They were starting in July. It's late May. 439 Lexington Street is where 123 is now. And it was the original location of Green Acres Day School and camp. There was a nursery school and a camp here. 300 kids were here in the summertime. Now, 73, I was not around anymore, but I was a counselor at that camp for a number of years. My mother worked there, who many of you know, Louisa Harrington, who ultimately served on the CHCH board for a number of years. So to the extent that solves the mystery, this fellow, I don't know what the 3 p.m. session is.
After school program, right?
Yeah.
Yep, for the daycare center, after school.
Okay.
Thank you, Counselor. I appreciate. Alden Harrington, everybody. Used to be his front yard right here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor, for revealing the first half of the nearly solved mystery. It is true that we stand here today on the former site of a former building known to many of us as Atwood, but even more formally known as Green Acres Day School, when first-class postage stamps clearly only cost 8 cents, and they apparently named day schools after popular television shows. So, yeah, so only some of you know that joke, right? Green Acres is the place to be, right? See, so, yeah. Very good. Yeah, thank you. The second half of the mystery remains, though. But, Lance, how did you come upon this magnificent historical document? As you recall, it was found in my very own Lexington mailbox, but addressed to one Mrs. Theodore Strollo at an address clearly across town. As it turns out, I attended Lexington High School with one Dan, not Danny, Strollo in the mid-1980s. Today, Dan follows my life, and therefore the life of CHCH, through various social media channels. Dan recognized the post about this building going up to replace Atwood, the former Green Acres Day School that he went to, and was amazed. And he was saddened that it was being razed, knocked down, and then rebuilt. But then elated at the news because it meant something bigger and better for our students. And he wished to share this historical memory with us when he stumbled across this letter cleaning out his late mother's personal effects after her recent passing. So yes, that Danny Strollo found my home half a century later, dropped off the mystery letter in my mailbox 2 weeks ago, and then sped off before I could ask him for a campaign gift. What the heck? I found Dan Strollo. I tracked him down, and indeed he has promised to make a $100 donation. And the last words he said to me was like, Lance, it's for the kids. It's for the kids. So thank you for humoring me, everyone. Today is a demonstration of our school's commitment to our core enterprise, differentiated teaching and learning, connecting with our outdoor environments in a very sustainable and accessible way, and providing our educators and students the very best learning space possible to enhance their education and opportunities. We gather here this afternoon to celebrate the opening of this amazing new state-of-the-art facility and to celebrate the generations of students that will find further discovery and understanding through learning, ultimately going on to make the world, we hope, a better place. This is certainly something that everyone can and should get behind. As we look upon the horizon, the Board of Trustees is preparing to design a new strategic plan that will establish our key strategic priorities as we head into the school's third century of serving young people, arriving in 2028. These will undoubtedly be priorities centered on the teaching and learning needs of our educators and students alike, needs that are constantly emerging and evolving. It is tough to keep up. Regardless, this is an exciting time of constant growth at CHCH. During my time as head of school, we have completed well over a dozen critical major capital building projects and steadily increased our student body size and programming. The building we highlight and honor this afternoon is a product of the most substantial capital campaign in CHCH history, raising over $2.6 million. And while we're here to celebrate, we're also here to look ahead, planning for new and exciting ways to elevate our students' experience. Stay tuned for news of what's coming up next to advance our Charger athletic facilities and programs. At this time, I'd like to thank and recognize the outstanding construction work and efforts of numerous partners and collaborators. I ask that these individuals provide a friendly wave like so when their name is called. If you are present, to acknowledge our appreciation. What we'll do is we'll hold our applause until the end because the list is long and magnificent, and then we'll give everyone their due recognition. Certainly with lead roles, I know it's going to be tough to hold your applause, but please do. Our co-project managers, our CFO, Gwen Pajasic, and former Director of Buildings and Grounds, Al Umina. From the Delphi construction crew, we've got Keith Shaw, Chris Thompson, Corey Heaslip, Dominique Galuzzo, John Cloutier, Aja Burton, Sydney Johannan, John Ficoni, and Cody Stockhouse. From Costa Architects, Al Costa and his team. From Venerian Sons Site Development, Stephen Veneria Jr., and Albie Veneria. From SciTech Environmental, Al Trakimas and Jeff Cooter. From Cohen Associates, Fred Cohen, Ray Busser, and Dan Leonard. From MEA Engineering Associates, Al Muccini and Bill Knowles. From Hub International, New England, Bob Mansfield and Marianne Lyons. From Rockland Trust Bank, Charlie Cope. The Mayor of Waltham, Jeanette McCarthy. The Waltham Conservation Commission, my new friends. The City Waltham Building and Engineering Departments. The Waltham Fire Department. The entire CHCH Buildings and Grounds crew. All members of the Buildings and Grounds Committee, including Chair Bob Donnelly, fellow trustees Joe Canestraro, Laura Cabot-Kerrigan, Sylvina Tremenkovich, Leslie Cohen, Mark Hardman, Alden Harrington, Grace Heinz, Deb Mankiw, Charlotte Merrill, and Stephen Richard, as well as current parents David Price and Jennifer Robitaille. And over 120 donors to our capital campaign, Growing Minds, Growing Community. Please let us now thank them all with a hearty, hearty, hearty thank you ovation. So yesterday morning we had the good fortune, in fact it was a great fortune, to share the Landry Center reveal with the student body, faculty, and staff, allowing everyone to walk through this magnificent space, most for the very first time. As students were coming out of the space, I engaged a few of them, conversation about, hey, like, what are your thoughts? What do you think about it? And one of our students, his name is Mikey Swift. He's one of our cavalry tour guides. Big personality, always a smile on his face. I'm like, Mikey, what'd you think of it? And he's like, huge upgrade, Dr. Conrad, huge. I'm like, that's really nice. I'm like, anything in particular? He's like, there's just so much space. And he actually identified like the height, like the rooms are tall, right? And they are, they're really tall rooms. The space is great. And then he also acknowledged the indoor-outdoor. And I'm like, do you think students would actually hang outside? Oh yeah, Dr. Conrad. And then he said something which I didn't cue him up for. He's like, but I miss the old Atwood. I'm like, what? You miss the old Atwood? How could you miss the old Atwood? He's like, well, it's just, I don't know. I like old things. I'm like, Mikey, sometimes you need to have change and move forward, right? And he's like, no, I get it. And I was like, big ad for the school? Yes. Yes, Dr. Conrad, it's a big ad for the school. Thank you. And he actually said the words thank you, which I appreciate. Students don't always reveal their thanks to you in a very direct way, but I certainly understand that this is a moment of thanks from our student body, faculty, and staff who will be able to use this space for years to come moving forward. And as you're walking through the building in a few moments, you're going to see some striking nature photography on the walls. These photos are the work of Nicholas Swee, who is a resident of Worcester Hall right here and a member of the class of 2028. Now, Nicholas can often be found all around campus at the crack of dawn, which is usually like these days like 5:30 in the morning, right? I'm not kidding. We have a ninth grader, 5:30 in the morning, out in camouflage gear on campus with his camouflage zoom lens, waiting patiently to get the perfect shot of the blue heron that lives on campus, or the deer, the cardinals, lots of different wildlife and birds. Nicholas isn't with us right now, but I want to thank him for lending his incredible talent to display these large photographs now on the walls of the Landry Center to bring light and color and energy. It's really wonderful when we can highlight and showcase student work. Each image beautifully demonstrates the powerful connection of nature and education that makes the Landry Center such a special place in addition to our campus. I'd also like to acknowledge the partnership between Isabel Marcette, class of 24, and our Director of Marketing and Communications, Matt Soul. For the donor wall, which many of you will see on the right when you walk into the main foyer, the Tree of Life branches come from one of Isabel's watercolor paintings that she did for us last year. And Matt partnered with one of our local collaborators, Fast Signs, to create an intriguing mural, kind of three-dimensional, using her watercolors and to celebrate the many donors of the Landry Center. So thanks to both of them. At this time, I'd like to invite three special guests to share a few words about the transformative project and some additional appreciation. First, please join me in welcoming Bob Donnelly, the chair of our board's Buildings and Grounds Committee and parent of a 2024 alumna. Bob.
Thank you, Lance. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, a note to myself, I should not follow Lance as a speaker, right? Bar's up here, got stories, got a mystery going, he brings in all in, so, but I do promise, my comments are short and sweet and to the point. But good afternoon, everyone. It's a true privilege to stand with you today as we open the doors to a building that represents so much more than the bricks and mortar. The new Landry Center at Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall stands as a bold investment in our mission and in the promise of our students, both present and future. As a parent of a recent alumni and as someone fortunate enough to serve on the board, I've seen firsthand how CHCH meets students where they are and helps them grow into who they are meant to be. The Landry Center deepens that commitment with adaptable spaces, innovative tools, and a design that reflects our school's educational philosophy. This building will not only support how students learn today, it will allow CH to evolve alongside them for years to come. We often say that CHCH strength lies in its ability to unlock the potential in every learner. This center is a physical embodiment of that mission, a space where curiosity will be encouraged, support will be built in, and learning will be both personalized and purposeful. But this project isn't just about academic outcomes, it's about honoring our school's core values. Community, which we heard a lot about today in the speeches at graduation, inclusion and growth, and giving our educators the tools and spaces they need to bring those values to life. Sorry, scroll the wrong way. Come on. Guess I should have stuck with paper. It won't go. Okay. I like to send, sorry, the page won't stay open for me. Any tips, Lance? Yeah, it's not, it just keeps wanting, okay, I won't touch it. There we go.
There it is.
There it goes.
See if I can hold it for you.
Yeah. I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who helped bring this vision to life. A special thank you to Gwen for her tireless oversight from groundbreaking through final inspection. To trustees and fellow parents of as a trustee and a fellow parent of a recent, to a trustee and fellow parent of a recent alum, Sarah Cohen, Leslie Cohen, for representing the board in the weekly Delphi project meetings out of her own time and space. To the members of the Building and Grounds Committee and the many trustees who provided thoughtful input along the way. Your time and dedication have been invaluable. Thank you to the Glenn Landry family and every donor, volunteer, and champion who made the Landry Center possible. Your generosity and belief in Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall is outstanding. Thank you. Thanks for your patience with my little technical glitch here. Thanks.
Next, I'd like to introduce the co-chairs of our Growing Minds, Growing Community campaign, Joe Canestraro and Laura Cabot-Kerrigan. Joe serves on the B&G and Finance committees and is the proud parent of a 2022 alumna. Laura has served on the B&G and Development Committee since her daughter graduated from CHCH in 2019. Joe, Laura?
I'll be brief. I know we've had a lot of speeches today, and there's been a lot of common themes that I don't need to repeat, but I will anyways. And I also will start with a story, not quite back to the 70s, but maybe to the early 80s. I remember driving with my dad back before I could drive, and whenever we were in Waltham, by the old South Waltham High School, or junior high, over off of Moody Street, he would recite the inscription, which is still on that building, which no longer serves as a school. He would recite it by memory without looking, because when he drove, he didn't usually look at anything anyways. He said, "There's never a day when it's not worth your while to be at your best." And to me at that time, I just thought he was trying to get me to do my homework, and didn't really make much sense. Fast forward to 2018, when my daughter Mia showed up, and our family became part of this community at CHCH. And I realized the true impact of that sentiment, where it wasn't addressed at the student. It really embodied a whole community of people being at their best. And I just saw that with the transformation that my daughter Mia achieved while here at CHCH, where the best coaches, teachers, mentors, even the staff, everybody knew her by first name and where she was at. And she was a girl, still is now, but she was a kid then that really struggled with finding a school that was a good fit for her. And I witnessed over those 4 years here of Mia transforming into someone with self-confidence, learning the skills of self-advocacy, and more importantly, the transformation of somebody who really had a hard time with school, being encouraged to take AP Lit, and not one, but 2 math classes. And she's a year away now from getting her degree in teaching. And just shows you that this school's impact is just tremendous. And it's today, as we witnessed another 52 graduates, all with similar stories as Mia, is why I'm still around at this school, and I enjoyed the time on the board immensely to see those stories repeated over and over. And I'm also so proud to be part of this project, because it's an example of the school practicing what it preaches, right? Because we heard a lot about the students being the best version of themselves today. And it's great to see that the school's commitment to learning and community here with this building, we really did put the school did put its best version of itself here with this project. And with the uncertainty about financial and the actual design and water and everything else, there was a lot of things that they had to pivot on and overcome, not unlike their students that we heard about today. And so this project means a lot to the school, to me personally, and I'm just very proud to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And we're happy to report that Joe is coming back for another term on the board, so not getting rid of him anytime soon. My name's Laura Kerrigan, and I am co-chair of the Capital Campaign. Thank you all for joining us today. The Landry Center's opening is just amazing. I'm so happy that this has finally come to fruition. The sun came out when Gwen rang the bell, and here we are, and it looks beautiful even shy of all the plantings that are still to come. It's just, I think, speaks to how well it was designed, its placement, and all the work that has been put into this. It's beautiful. I'm so excited to see how it grows out in the coming years. And at this point, I assume it's an understatement to say that a lot of people made this project happen and be successful. But I think many hands do make for light work. So specifically, bear with me, I'd like to thank Board Chair Charlotte Merrill, Vice Chair Deb Mankiw, and fellow trustees and campaign leaders on our Development and Capital Campaign committees for guiding our fundraising efforts. These people include trustees Chuck Black, Rhonda Bentley Lewis, Sylvina Chomenkovich, Sean Mulvahill, and Stephen Sherman, who joined me and Joe and our spouses on this ambitious project. I'd also like to thank advisors Michelle Codrington and Sally Davidson, co-chairs of the Parents of Alumni Group, Carol Webb and Sharon Yamamoto, as well as our senior administrative team members, Lance Conrad, Gwen Pajasic, Catherine Saunders, and Matt Sewell, and our Chief Advancement Officer, Leslie Jacobson-Kay, and her amazing advancement team. You guys rock. Walker Jones, Kate Nichols, and Rebecca Lamatri. I know that the board would agree that our true success here today has come from the commitment of this entire community to support a new, bold, and exciting initiative, and from the Gwyn Landrys for mobilizing so many additional donors. The Landry Center is going to be a critical addition to the CHCH experience, which we know from Joe. And it's also going to be a daily reminder of what happens when we commit to giving back, to investing in the future, and to simply embracing the act of giving. I also believe it's going to inspire us to think of the many more places we can go together on this campus. Thank you all for your belief, your support, and your commitment to this project's success. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, Joe, Laura. I truly appreciate all the amazing ways you continue to show up for the school and strategically lead us to bigger and better places year after year after year. It's an honor to work with you. I'd now like to capture a special moment of recognition for our lead benefactors behind this transformational project, Kim and Mark Gwyn Landry. Kim, her sister, and her mother stepped up in a truly remarkable way on behalf of the Landry Family Foundation to present and leverage a major leadership gift matching challenge to help us realize an additional $500,000 in campaign gifts over the final months of fundraising. I'm pleased to announce that the Landry Center can open its doors today due to their family foundation's incredible generosity and belief in the mission and work of Chapel Hill Chauncey Hall. With their support and guidance, we were able to successfully secure over $2.62 million in gifts and pledges over the past 2 years. Again, the largest amount raised in any capital campaign in the school's 197-year history. Thank you to the Gwyn Landry family and the Landry Family Foundation. Without question, we invested in and assembled an amazing team, a quite large team, for this project. From conceptualization to design to construction to fundraising, I want to thank everyone that has had a hand in enabling the school to complete this key deliverable in our campus master plan. An entire community of people came together for common purpose to advance teaching and learning at CHCH. There is one person, without question, that deserves the greatest amount of credit for shepherding this project from concept to conclusion. Please join me in bestowing the heartiest of ovations and thanks and appreciation to my friend, our Chief Financial Officer and Project Manager, Gwyn Pajasic. Each year I wonder when it's going to hit me.
We all do.
So today, I take a deep breath, and I declare success in our collaborative endeavor and look forward to officially opening these doors. To this end, we will now cut the ceremonial ribbon to officially open the Landry Center, followed by various photos to capture this memorable occasion. Please join me in welcoming the CHCH Board of Trustees and members of the Gwyn Landry family for the first ceremonial ribbon cutting. Come on up, everyone, and let's get some photos. Matt will direct us with photos. Thank you. Trustees, please. Where's, hold on. Oh, here they are. Let's go behind them. All right. So this is Finley Gwyn Landry. I know these are big scissors, so I'm cautiously giving Finley the largest scissors we have. Final words. With that, I thank you all for attending this afternoon. Please join us for refreshments and conversation, and of course, please indulge yourselves in perusing the Landry Center at your leisure. We thank you for supporting us. Good day.